We welcome to the New Hampshire Legends of Hockey Hall of Fame class of 2025, Chris Grassie. Chris, a native of Somersworth, New Hampshire, played at Somersworth High, then went on to Berwick Academy.
Yes.
Tell us about your experiences at both Somersworth and Berwick growing up.
Sure. Somersworth was, born and raised in Somersworth, there my whole life. The high school team is pretty much the guys that I played youth hockey with. We were good. Back then, New Hampshire division, there were no divisions. There was one division.
Right. Yeah.
And Somersworth was not a big school, so we got to play against some pretty tough teams, but we held our own. I always think back going, if there was a Division II back then, it would have been pretty good with because us and Dover and Spalding and St. Thomas and Oyster River had great rivalries, and we were all pretty much right in that level. But it was a lot of fun, and I've got some of those players that I was with then are going to be here today because those are your core friends, and
exactly.
We stuck together forever. So.
And then from Somersworth, you did move on to Berwick Academy.
Yes.
Talk about your experience there.
Yeah, so that was, I really wasn't planning on doing that. Bill Beanie had taken over that program the year before he started, I guess, my senior year at Somersworth High. And I thought I was done after Somersworth High, which was fine. But Bill Beanie actually recruited me to go do a postgraduate year at Berwick Academy. He thought I had potential to possibly play collegiate hockey. So we went over there, and I think we had 3 postgraduates, brought in a couple of juniors, and then he had an excellent freshman class. We didn't have big numbers, but we had a pretty good team. I think we were undefeated at home that year.
Wow.
Ended up going to, I can't remember if it was Division II or the small school, whatever they called it. We actually made the tournament there. And at the time, he was the volunteer assistant coach at UNH.
Okay.
So that's where I wanted to go, and he was helping there, and he facilitated that, and it worked out pretty good.
Now, as a freshman, you were a walk-on, correct?
I was, right.
Yeah.
So, there it was, when I went to UNH, it was you have a spot on the team, you're on the roster, you're there, but you don't have there's no scholarship money. And I was like, that's fine with me. If I have an opportunity, and, they always said if you can start playing, maybe your junior, senior year, if there's money available, maybe we can do something for you. But, it ended up pretty good. That took me a bit to get in the lineup freshman year, but once I did, I never left. And at the end of my freshman year, they actually gave me the scholarship for the last 3 years. They didn't have to do that, and
That's terrific.
Very nice of them. Yes.
Absolutely so. And then a little bit after that, you started your coaching career at Berwick, correct?
Yes, and it was great. So the athletic director at the time was Dan Raposa. Dan actually coached me in midgets. Charlie Holt was the head coach of the Berwick team then, and Charlie was thinking about stepping down, so Dan, asked me if I wanted to get involved, and I did that for a year. Charlie stepped down, and then I head coached that the next year, and I wasn't really thinking about coaching full time, but that I enjoyed it. I liked it. I ended up not staying at Berwick, but the following year I made the move to start coaching juniors with Sean Tremblay, and we worked together for I think almost a decade.
Wow.
With junior hockey, and really enjoyed it.
So work under Charlie Holt must have been quite an experience.
It really was. And so when I was at UNH, Charlie had just stepped down. Charlie actually recruited me, Dan Raposa says it was actually the last decision he made formally at
Wow.
UNH. But Bob Cullen took over.
Yeah.
Bob got sick and ended up having a rare heart disease, needed a heart transplant. So the coaching staff, my sophomore year, Charlie started the year until the football season ended, and then Dave O'Connor. So I get to have Charlie coach a little bit. But I love him to death, but I would say Charlie communicating to the team at that level, the man was literally a hockey genius. But
Yeah.
it was tough for him sometimes to get that message across to the team. When I coached at Berwick, there was like 1 or 2 times a week where we would just stay in the coach's room after the practice, and I got to talk with Charlie one-on-one for, half hour, 45 minutes to an hour, and that's when I really realized that, like, how much this man knows, and I ended up cherishing that time,
Yeah.
being able to have those discussions with Charlie. It was awesome.
Wow.
We actually ended up becoming really good friends.
Yeah, boy, I'm sure it was. What a coach he was over the
Yep.
years. I understand your dad, Jerry, and his friend Bob Brown founded the Seacoast Spartans.
Yes.
And after his death, you took over that program.
I did, yeah. So at the time, I was coaching juniors, and also, running skills for various youth hockey organizations, et cetera. Then, my dad, when he passed, it was not expected. It was sudden, and it was one of those decisions of, I liked what I was doing. Did I just want the organization to end? Did I want someone else to run it? And I made the call that, no, I'm going to take it over. It ended up kind of stopping my junior hockey coaching.
Right.
And also said, if I'm going to do this, we ended up growing the organization. We outgrew the Dover and Rochester arenas. That's when we made the move to the rinks at Exeter. And from there, we went from 3 teams to, I think it was 9 or 10 full season teams, split season midget, and then one of the most enjoyable things right before I got out in 2013 is we started our mite development program. And at the end, we were out there we had 75 mites, and the way it worked is it really didn't matter your skill level. We had some really high-end players and we had some beginners, but you're breaking it out into the different stations, and we took USA Hockey's advisement and we put our best coaches out there for that group, and I had so much fun.
Bet. Yeah.
Coaching the little guys as opposed to, always
Yeah.
always working with the older ones.
Right.
So it
Exactly.
really was. It was fun and rewarding.
And I know when your dad was posthumously inducted into the Legends Hall of Fame, you accepted that award for him.
I did. Yes, it was. It was an honor. I look, and obviously I'm going to be joining him today.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
And what I'll tell you is, I guess appreciate his induction more than my own. I'm going in as a player. I had opportunity to play, a lot to do with him. But I got to play, happened to have a little bit of talent, and I just played and did what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I'm being acknowledged, which is fantastic. He didn't grow up playing hockey. He had no opportunity to play in the 40s and the 50s. And it was with people like him. He wasn't the only one, but people like him starting the organizations, getting the arenas built, starting the youth hockey programs, coaching when they had no experience whatsoever, and then for him to take that to officiating, then running the Seacoast Hockey League, starting the Seacoast Spartans. I mean, he worked for his accomplishments, and it was great to have him recognized. It really was.
As did you, Chris Grassie. Don't deny that. You
Yep.
put in a lot of time and effort over the years as well, and we congratulate you as a member of the New Hampshire Legends of Hockey class of 2025.
Thank you, Ken.